Good morning, children. I'm back. And as goes the saying, agriculture is the most healthful, most useful, and most noble employment of man. Thus said George Washington. And as you know, India has its main occupation as agriculture. We thrive on agriculture and its allied occupations. So here I'm back with part 2 of agriculture, and this is Miss Khyati Dwarkadas. Last time you had learned about certain other topics in agriculture, and today we're going to continue with agriculture. But before we do so, we're going to talk about the learning outcomes. We need to understand the importance of agriculture and its spatial distribution of various crops in India, to understand the types of agriculture of farming, like primitive subsistence farming, intensive subsistence farming, and commercial farming. I'm sure you've done them last time. And to know about technology and institutional reforms for the benefits of Indian farmers. So these are the three broad categories under which we need to study this chapter. Out of that, you've done the introduction and the types of farming last time. Today, we're going to look at the cropping patterns. We're going to look at the major crops, which are rice, wheat, millets, maize, and pulses. Now, when you come to types of farming, last time you did see primitive subsistence farming, intensive subsistence farming, and commercial farming. And you did see plantation agriculture and its examples as well. So just as I told you in the very first screen, did you know agriculture is the largest livelihood provider in rural India? Why only rural India? It is also the largest livelihood provider in urban India right now. Agriculture and its allied activities. If we are wearing clothes, they are made from the cotton produced in the field. If we are using furniture, wooden furniture, it is made from the wood of the forests. So nothing that we have, even to live, we need roti, kapda and makan. Where does the roti come from? Where does your bread, where does your food come from? The crops. The basics of our sustenance come from agriculture. So let's look at the cropping patterns. India has three main cropping seasons. They are the rabi, the kharif, and the zaid. Now last year in class 9 economics, I remember we had touched upon these but not in detail. This year in this unit, we are going to look at these cropping patterns in detail. Now rabi or ravi crop is sown in winter from October to December, and it is harvested in summer from April to June. So if you realize during the pandemic of COVID, the Prime Minister kept announcing time and again for India that it is the Rabi season and the farmers need to harvest their crop. So agriculture was the only allowed activity even in the days of lockdown. Keep that in mind. The important crops are wheat, barley, peas, gram, chana, mustard. The states like Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, Uttarakhand, and West UP are the main rabi crop, mainly wheat producing states. The availability of precipitation, rainfall during the winter months due to the western temperate cyclones help in the success of these crops. The success of the Green Revolution in Punjab, Haryana and West UP, parts of Rajasthan, has also been an important factor in the growth of rabi crops. So as of now, I don't want you to write anything. You need to watch the video time and again and remember. The more you watch, the more you read your textbook, and the more you remember and recall will be higher your learning. So keep your learning curve in mind and let it progress. So when we talk of the Kharif crop, they are sown with the onset of the monsoon in different parts of the country and harvested in September-October. The important crops are paddy, maize, makai, jowar, bajra, tur, what we call arhar, what most people call tuver, moong, urad, cotton, jute, groundnut and soya bean. So if you're watching national television these days in the lockdown or when India opens up, either ways, you will see ads of various seed growers. So for cotton, I think there is some Ajit company, I think if I mistake not, selling the cotton seeds. Then for oil seeds, I believe, for castor and all, there is a company called Avni for castor. And the remaining, I'm sure you'll find out once you watch some television. It comes on national television, it comes on Marathi and on Gujarati television. I don't know much about other languages. Okay. So some of the most important rice growing regions are Assam, West Bengal, coastal regions of Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Maharashtra, particularly the Konkan coast along with Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Okay, mind you, on our videos, the spellings are of the states are the old ones. You will use the new spellings. So it will not be Orissa, it will be Odisha. Recently, paddy or rice has also become an important crop in the states of Punjab and Haryana. In states like Assam, West Bengal, Orissa, 3 crops of paddy are grown in a year. 3 crops, rice crops, Os, Aman and Boro. So normally this last line of Os, Aman and Boro, the 3 paddy crops, is a 1 marker. You can mentally note it down. Smart children, aren't you? Do not waste time writing. Now we come to Zayed. And who doesn't like eating cucumbers and melons? I'm sure all of you love watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber with that chaat masala. So Zayed is that short season between the Rabi and the Kharif season during the summer months. And the crops produced are your watermelons, muskmelons. Muskmelon is the sakarteti and all the other kind of melons. Cucumber, certain specialized vegetables and fodder crops. Now these specialized vegetables are not very special, but just because they are known to grow in this short season, we consider them to be growing. Now when you come to major crops, that side box is a nice thing to keep in mind. The did you know fact. India produces 51 major crops. How many? 51, and that's not a small amount. A variety of food and non-food crops are grown in different parts of the country depending on soil variation, climate variation, and the cultivation practices followed in the country. So the major crops grown in India include rice, wheat, millets, maize, pulses, which are the grains. Then you have sugarcane, oilseed, tea, coffee, horticulture. Horticulture is fruit growing. So these are food crops other than grains. And then you have rubber, fiber crops, cotton and jute, which are your non-food crops. So that's quite a lot of growing in one country in 1 year. Coming to rice, it is the staple food crop of a majority of people in India. India is the second largest producer of rice in the world after China. Rice is a kharif crop which requires high temperature above 25 degrees Celsius and high humidity with an annual rainfall of above 100 centimeters. So these are the little things you need to remember. Normally, when crops are asked in your board exam, they ask you to write the geographical features of growing a particular crop. So if, for example, you've been asked to write about rice. So you will write that it is a staple crop for a majority of people, second largest producer after China. Kharif is the cropping season, high temperature and above 25 degrees, high humidity with rainfall above 100 centimeters. Then where does it grow? In the plains of North and Northeast India, coastal areas and the deltaic regions. And then you will have to mention the development of a dense network of canal irrigation and tube wells has made it possible for the growth of rice in areas of less rainfall like Punjab, Haryana, West UP and parts of Rajasthan. So it's for us as children to know these little points. You feel free to mark it in your textbook. Because I know that, even after us having repeatedly telling you that remember it, recall it, read it up, there are many other subjects that you have to work on. But do not waste your time copying it. Mark it in your textbook if you think you will forget it. So we can improve on our knowledge. Then when you are reading through it again, you will recollect my words that yes, I had asked you to learn it by heart, soul and memory. Normally a crop comes for 3 marks. So this is the map of India. The major areas and the minor areas are shown to you. The states were told to you in the previous screen. Keeping that screen in mind, you will shade in your textbook the major and minor areas. And you will label the states, mind you, label the states in your textbook. In your textbook there is a map. Label the states there, which are the major areas, which are the minor areas, and use 2 color pencils to shade the major and minor areas. Then we come to wheat, which is the second most important cereal crop. The main food crop in north and northwestern part of the country. It requires a cool growing season, bright sunshine at ripening time. It doesn't require much rainfall, just 50 to 75 centimeters of annual rainfall, that too evenly distributed over the entire growing season is enough. The important wheat growing zones include Ganga-Sarlaj plains, black soil regions of the Deccan. The major wheat growing states are Punjab, Haryana, UP, Bihar, Rajasthan, parts of Madhya Pradesh. Once again, we'll move to a map and you will keep the coloring and labeling done in your textbook. Once again, a crop means 3 marks. So here you can see the major and minor areas a bit clearly, but in your textbook you will label the states. Millets, jowar, bajra and ragi are the most important millets grown in India. Though these are known as coarse grains. They have high nutritional value. Ragi is rich in iron, calcium, and other micronutrients and roughage. It is a crop of dry regions and grows well on red, black, sandy, loamy, and shallow soils. So it grows in a variety of soils. When Karnataka is the largest producer, which is followed by Tamil Nadu, Himachal, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Jharkhand, Arunachal. All of these are important ragi producing states. Now I have put up the picture of 3 important crops for you. Jowar is the third most important food crop with respect to area and production. It is a rain-fed crop in the moist areas. Maharashtra is the largest producer of jowar, followed by Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Bajra grows well on sandy soils and shallow black soil. Rajasthan is the largest producer, followed by UP, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Haryana. So you need to mark it once again in your textbook. I know that if I go at this speed, it may sound a little fast to you, but trust me children, we are not going fast. We want you to remember as well as not waste too much time in rewriting a textbook. Our intention right now is for you to spend time at home on self-study. So if you have it marked and if you recollect while learning that these are the important points which needs to be included in an answer, it will help you. Now we come to maize. Maize is the makai or the corn, the butta that most of us eat. It is used both as a food and a fodder crop. It is a kharif crop which requires a temperature between 21 and 27 degrees Celsius. It grows well in alluvial soil. In states like Bihar, it is grown as a rabi crop as well. It uses modern inputs like HYV seeds, fertilizers, irrigation, which have contributed to the increasing production of maize. Major maize producing states are Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. So once again, the cropping pattern, the temperature, the soil and the states, modern farming methods. Pulses. India is the largest producer as well as consumers of pulses in the world. They do say that pulses give us protein. So these are the major source of protein in a vegetarian diet. Major pulses grown in India are tur, urad, moong, masoor, peas and gram. They need less moisture to survive even in dry conditions. And all these crops except arhar help in restoring soil fertility by fixing nitrogen from the air, because of which it is grown in rotation with other crops. So if you remember when we were doing soils, I had asked you to plant some crops in your balcony or window, etc. And I had told you to make rough notes in your notepads on the soil required and how you looked after and nurtured your plant. If you did at all take the trouble to grow even a single plant and nurtured it, do send me a feedback, if possible in the video's comment or otherwise on the class group, about which crop you grew, which crop you have grown rather, how did you nurture it, and what was the cropping pattern, what were the climatic conditions, the geographical conditions, was it a labor intensive crop, and And did it bear any fruit? That means, did it give you the outputs? If you've done tomato, did you get even a single tomato? Or if you planted oranges, did a single orange grow? These are the little things you're going to give me in your feedback. So I will, in the description box, put in the format of the feedback. Just in case if you're interested in giving a feedback, feel free to do so. Otherwise, if you even just like the video, I will understand that you have taken the trouble to grow some crop. Because I know my children are very, very honest and they just do not like or dislike videos. So if you're able to put that feedback in the comment box of the video, feel free to do that. If the video does not allow you, because most of our videos don't allow comments, they are disabled, then you know you have to put it in the group. And I will put the format in the description box. So here's our link for the notebook. As always, very, very few short answers, and feel free to write them down. This is what will go in your notebook. There is a quiz for you. Once you submit, you will know whether your answers are right or wrong and what could be the right answers. Until we meet again, thank you so much, children. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Have a lovely weekend.